The other way. Turn it the other way.
No, it's this way. Now open. Open it.
It won't open.
Right.
Not open. It's left. Turn it left.
Turn left all the way. Keep turning. No, no, the other
I
way.
know.
Keep turning. So,
It's hard.
so let Mommy help you.
There's one opening.
Let Mommy help you.
See the other one?
No, I'll open it.
Kevin finally got it
And
open.
I'm not gonna believe it. We finally got it open. Kevin got it open, and of course, what you do is you put your clothes or your stuff in there, and then you lock it and take the key with you for safety, which makes it pretty nice.
Or we can lock Kevin up in the closet when he's a bad boy, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Kevin just fell down. He's not used to these fancy rugs here.
Have a nice trip, Kevin.
Okay. And then that goes back out to the entrance out of the apartment. Okay, as you can see, it's now 4:30 Sunday. We are
Let's look at the Ferris.
at the Volksplatter. And there's the Ferris wheel going around. Kind of a park for everybody. You don't go down there, I don't think, Deanna. Deanna, don't go down there. Oh, okay. Oh, you're going to get in the video. Okay. Here we have Brian here. He's not in the picture. He's, all right.
Made it, finally. Hey, Kevin, keep your hands on your eyes.
Okay. Take it with Brian.
You get a picture of me and Kevin? Mom, come here.
That's fine. You can walk. This is a video. Very good. We're right at the base of this thing now, and here we go. Up, 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 and away. We go on coach number, whoop, thought we were going on coach number 28, but we're not. We're going to go on maybe coach number 30. Probably not. Probably coach number 2. Yeah, but word. Here will be coach number 2.
I know it's going to be coach number.
You think so, Kevin? You sure?
Look at that roller coaster. Maybe I can go on it right there. That's a pretty little roller coaster. Here.
Okay, here we are on the number 2. And there's St. Stephen's where we're staying. Yeah, we're up here. That first dip is a big one.
Watch the red one, Kevin.
It goes on that first one.
Here you go, Kevin. See ya.
Now this view over the city. Looking. Say, Brian, can you get some pictures up here? There's the ground hum over there. We're on top now.
Selbst schuld, wenn ihr nicht faul im Papier aber wie wenn man dann wenn ich auf dem Umwelt es gibt ja schon dieses Lied in Stadtbauarchitekten. Wunderbar,
Now we're back to the beginning. Transportation system in Vienna. The old-fashioned trolley. Yeah, they're not moving.
Ja, maar die ouders dat vallen zo dan aan.
Come here with both. Wait, say it again. Say it again.
We're on the trolley going around. Woo! We rock on the trolley.
Kevin with Brian on his roller coaster ride, what they call the loop band. Here goes Kevin. What do you think?
Is that scary? Did you like that?
You can pull him over on your lap and let him steer it. Lift him up. Tell him to get up on his knees. There you go. There you go. What? No, he'll be all right. Go, go! Here a little bit of an unusual Ferris wheel. As you can see, there are little gondolas that hang in the air. And it is a quite high Ferris wheel. It is called a Blumenrad.
lässt wieder festhalten, jetzt kommen wir wieder. Der Looping. Auf geht's. Komm mal wieder runter. Die Deutsche für die nächste Fahrt gibt es hier an der Kasse anschließend nicht warten, nicht dabei sein.
And we're in the little town of Krems. This is where King Richard the Lionhearted was imprisoned after the Third Crusade on his return from Israel. He was waiting for them to come back and pay the ransom money. This is a wine growing area. It produces 65% of the wine of all of Austria in this area. We're going to get on a boat and go down the Danube River in a moment. This is all Baroque architecture. Give you some idea. One of the oldest towns in all of Austria that we're in right now. The town of Dürnstein. We're walking in. This is the oldest town in all of Austria. It is where King Lionhearted was in prison. It's all Baroque architecture. We're walking up there right now. Take you on a little walking tour. You see the vineyards here on the left, or on the right, and the left. Typical vineyard in Austria. As you can see, they run right up the mountainside. Depending as to the height that you go to, the different levels, different types of grapes.
I'm the one that flicked that rock.
Castle wall over there.
They're making a new castle.
Is that our bus?
I don't think so.
There are the grapes.
Look at all the bugs.
And you see how they protect the city with the walls. This is the actual entrance into the city.
They should make bigger walls so birds don't fly in and eat them.
We have the castle wall protecting the city. Give you some idea of the little streets. Natural village, people that live here and work here. Yeah, it's all part of it. Well, we're now on the boat on the Danube. It's 11:35. As you can see, we're cruising up the Danube through to Melk. We have Brian doing his studying and Deanna on the boat. And here's little Kevin. Here we have Kevin. He's going to be our cameraman here. He's got it all figured out.
Yeah, can you turn this on?
Sure.
Or is it already turned on?
I'll turn that for you. We have the vineyards going up the sides of the hills here and along the Danube. The St. Michael's Church is the oldest church in the Vaucau Valley.
Vous remarquerez le vieux Saint-Michel qui a été construit en 1500. C'est l'église la plus ancienne de la Vaucau.
Damas y caballeros, en la orilla derecha pueden ver ustedes la fortaleza iglesia de San Michael.
Here's another castle on the tour here.
What?
And this is the town of Spitz where we're leaving. You can see the wine vineyards all the way along. And there's the boat dock that we just stopped at. And give you a little picture of the boat going down.
You know I'm going to need little glasses. Little glasses.
Now here's the ship that we disembarked on in Melk. We took this cruiser up the Danube for 2 hours, drank some wine, met some Italian ladies, and drank some more wine, and they're from Roma. And now we look down the little inlet on the Danube that allows us to dock here at Melk. Oi, oi, oi. We are now starting our tour. We just bagged it.
You okay?
We're now starting our tour into the entrance and the tickets and all the other nonsense. And here's our tour. We'll walk right up here. I just banged into our Italian friends. One thing about taking video from the rear, you always run into someone.
There she is.
Here we got Kevin.
Okay, Kevin.
Okay, Kevin, out you go. Kevin, out. Come on.
I want to play in here, get video.
Okay, come on, Kevin.
No, he doesn't want you in there. Come on.
Come on.
Oh.
He's mad at you, Kevin.
Ah.
He's blaming.
He's working. See him working?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was working.
He must be in the courtyard of some sort or another.
So welcome to the Benedictine Monastery here in Melk. You can come a bit closer. I'd like to introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Gabi, and I'm a student, and I will guide you through the monastery and the exhibition. We are standing here in the prelate's courtyard. Prelate's courtyard because the abbot, the prelate of this monastery, has his official rooms over there. And in the past he could welcome the guests from his own room entering the gate. The guests were not ordinary guests, very special ones, like the royal family who used to stay here on the way from Vienna to Salzburg. And where we stand at the moment, this is one part of the Emperor's Wing where we're going to start with our guiding. The whole monastery, as you see it nowadays, dates back to the 18th century. The Benedictines came in the 11th century. 1089, Leopold II brought them here from Lambach. This is in Upper Austria. So it's been a monastery for a very long time. I will tell you more about the history when we're in the rooms, But maybe a few words about the frescoes that you see here. They're of course not from the Baroque time. They were painted in this century, and they show the 4 cardinal virtues. Straight ahead with the mirror, this is wisdom. It's very interesting that wisdom is above the abbot's rooms, so maybe the abbot should guide his monastery in wisdom. The next one, 2 figures pouring water and fire in a container. This is modesty. And if you turn back with the sword and blindfolded, justice. And what we can't see at the moment because we're standing too close with the column and the lion, is the strength. The frescoes were painted by Peter Bishop, a Viennese artist, whereby it's interesting, his actual profession is a dentist, and he's still practicing in Vienna. So all those of you who are not from sightseeing and having the sticky label, have your tickets ready now. We move to the Emperor's Staircase. We came up now the Emperor's Staircase and we're standing here in the Emperor's Corridor. This is the longest corridor of the whole monastery with a total length of 186 meters. So there's no longer corridor. You'll see that later when we see models. In the corridor there are paintings of the various Habsburg and Babenberg rulers and emperors. In the corridor to the left, the Babenberg family. The corridor to the right, the Habsburg family. Most of these paintings are not very good quality, not painted by very famous or good artists. But this is not true for the 2 that you see behind me. They were painted by good artists and show 2 famous people, Maria Theresa and Franz Stephan of Lorraine, Emperor Franz I. Maria Theresa was the only female on the Habsburg throne. Her father, Charles VI, didn't have any male followers. And in the document, in the pragmatic sanction, he declared that also women have the right to follow the throne. You see, Maria Theresa has Hungarian queen. She never was empress, although the people used to call her empress. Emperor was the man she married. But nevertheless, she did all the ruling, the state visits, and apart from this, she was mother of 16 children. 2 of them I'd like to point out, the next Habsburg on the throne, her son Joseph II, and her daughter Marie Antoinette. She was married to a French king and got beheaded in the revolution. In the corridor to the left, there are the rooms for the royal family. Nowadays there's a museum in these rooms, and I would like to guide you through the best rooms and tell you a bit about the history. And there's a big crowd, so there might be delays in between, so please be patient. Thank you. Over about St. Benedict himself. You see the rock statue that shows Benedict. Who was he? He was born 480 in Lursia in Italy, in the area of Umbria. As a son of rich parents, he got his education in Rome. But as a young man, he already decided that he didn't like this lifestyle in wealth and affluence, and so he broke away from society, decided to live alone in a hole near Subiaco. Some monks joined him later on because they were convinced about the lifestyle he led, and so they found the first monastery, Monte Cassino, 529, which got heavily bombed in the Second World War. In Monte Cassino, Benedict wrote his rules and regulations, or his rules. And what he believed you can summarize under his logo, ora et labora, which means pray and work. Don't concentrate on prayer only, but also on work. Whereby work, the Benedictine monk does not necessarily mean just hard labor. Work also means teaching and writing books. That's why the library is of great importance, and you're going to see it later on. And as to teaching, you have a big grammar school here, high school, with approximately 700 pupils, girls and boys. The order spread very quickly, and Benedictine monasteries can be found all over the world. Most of them, of course, in Europe, but the biggest ones in the United States. That's why I was asking. It's in Minnesota, St. John's, with around 250 monks. This is a number that this monastery never had here. The highest number was 95. This was in the 19th century. Nowadays, there are 12 monks living here, but 38 belonging to Melk. But the other ones, they live outside, they work in the countryside as priests, And they don't travel backwards and forwards every day, they just visit the monastery occasionally. So Melk, a Benedictine monastery, but before it was a fortress of Lambert, was of great importance for this monastery because under Abbot Berthold Dietmar, the whole monastery got rebuilt. Dietmar became abbot around 1700. He was very young, only 30 years old for a man in this high position. And before he got confirmed by the Pope, he already decided that the church should get rebuilt. But not only the church, but the whole monastery got rebuilt, as you see it nowadays. Not all the monks took this very positively. A group of monks around Father Petz, he was historian here, they were very much against it, because they said a big Baroque complex like this goes against the ideas of St. Benedict of a simple lifestyle. And so these monks wrote a paper, a revolt against the abbot. Of course, they couldn't do anything against the abbot himself at the end. So we've got a big Baroque monastery here, and all the things that you see in this room are from that time. So if you look at the ceiling for a moment, the stucco in all the rooms is original, as well as the ceramic oven here. Where you can notice, looking from the side, that the oven doesn't have an oven door. It got heated from the corridor, and so the rooms didn't get dirty and the family didn't get disturbed. In front of the oven you see a religious vestment, so called the ornat. It's precious because it's a handicraft, and they use the metal thread for making all the stitches. And it's mentioned in books that it was decorated with pearls in the past, like this mitra here. Not pearls they found in the sea, but pearls they found in the river. The chalices and monstrances, gold plated, of real gold, like this chalice here, where it says it's made from gold that washed out from the Danube. These things were presents given to the monastery by the various guests. Before we leave the museum, I'd like to point out two other things here. Not because they're so precious, but because they're so typical for the time. These are the standing reliquaries. In the Baroque time, more than ever before, they honor the bones of martyrs and saints. They did this early times already, in the Middle Ages. But there they kept them, as you saw in the first room, in closed containers, so the relics were not visible. For the Baroque time, it's not enough to know that relics are there, they want to see them, so they expose behind glass, nicely arranged like a picture. The bones come from the catacombs of Rome, from the graves of the early martyrs and Christians, and with the paper from the Pope with the document, they were sent to the various Catholic countries and areas. And now we leave the museum and move into the biggest rooms of the monastery. Surroundings of the doors. Everything else is made from stucco, a very popular imitation at the time. And when the technique got very good and they became real professionals, this imitation was more expensive than the real thing. It's the same with a certain point in time when they invented plastic. It's more expensive than wood nowadays. The room was a dining hall for guests, and where we have the heating at the moment. In the past there was a kitchen, and with little lifts they brought the food into the room. You see to the left what's looking like a cupboard. And so the servants went there and got the food out and served it. But what makes the room so special is the ceiling. If you look at the ceiling from the middle, it seems to be pretty high, but actually from the edges to the ceiling itself, it's 1.5 meters. So, where's the guy, the little boy? How much is he? Kevin, how tall are you?
About 40 inches.
What's that? A meter, 20?
1 meter 10.
1 meter 10.
Okay, so that would be the difference then. And it seems to be curved, but this is a flat wooden ceiling. And you can prove this if you walk side to side to the left or to the right. The columns will start to fall. So look at the painted columns on the left and the right. And all the columns inside. And you can see the
Oh, it is, huh? The flat ceiling. You see that? The flat ceiling. It looks like it's a dome, but it's not. It's flat. Look at it.
Ceiling, a Tyrolian artist, Howard Holger for the topic, for the scenes, and Gaetano Canti, Italian, for the architectural paintings. The ceiling was painted 1731-32. A few words about the topic. You see in the middle, Pallas Athene, the Greek goddess of wisdom, is coached and pulled by lions. And behind her, Hercules, who killed Cerberus, the god who sits at the entrance of the underworld. So what does this mean symbolically? Already the Roman emperors brought a connection with Hercules as a symbol for power and strength. And so does Emperor Charles VI. He becomes to the one who brings the empire with power and strength, but also with wisdom, from darkness into the light, into harmony, into beauty, into science. You see a man holding a book with power sitting on it. So into everything that improves the society. One can say the topic in general is the glorification of the emperor. And now we move out.
Als wenn das Balkon davor ist.
Town of Melk over here on the left. There's the boat going down around, going back down the Danube on the way back home.
I can't see.
You gotta hold Kevin up so you can see. You can't see the boat going. Oh, you see it on the video.
We're now in the main room of the library. The library consists of 12 rooms with approximately 100,000 books. In this room alone, we have about 16,000 books in the shelf. These are not Middle-Age manuscripts, but printed works from 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. When they rebuilt the monastery in the 18th century, they bound the books in one way, so that it looks good to the eyes. And they even covered the shelves and they put supporting bits in between. And you see this always when the books don't reach the height. The books are not only theological works, but they deal with all sciences, so the character of the library is academic. And this is also pointed out through the four statues at the doors, and they show the four faculties of university. To the left it's law, to the right medicine, on the other side to the left philosophy, and to the right theology. And in the marble hall we saw that it shows a worldly topic for the fresco. Here we are in the area where the monks used to work and live, and of course the separate himself is a spiritual topic. And so you see the triumph of godly wisdom above all virtues. The godly wisdom is in the middle as a lady with a suit of armor, a shield with the dove of the Holy Spirit, and the books with the 7 seals from books of Revelation, surrounded by the 4 cardinal virtues with the column, with the pole and the fur. This is strength, with skills and the sword. This is righteousness or justice. With the mirror and the snake, it's wisdom, and 2 angels pouring water from one container into the other. This is modesty. But here we have a proper brick ceiling, a curved ceiling, already because of the danger of a fire. And the monks were also not allowed to use candlelight in here. If they wanted to work, they had to go through 6 hidden doors. There are 2 at the back here, 2 at the middle shelves and the next middle shelves. And then they could sit by the windows and work till it was getting dark. Here in the glass cases we have some of the oldest books. Most of them are Middle-Age handwritten manuscripts or inquinables, these Middle-Age prints. One book is very atypical for a Christian library. It's this Quran here. The Turks were never in Melt, but some of the churches belonging to Melt got burned down. Somewhere Quran was found and it ended up in this library. And before we leave this library, I'd like to show you one of these old books. So if you could come to this chair.
It's all written in Latin, huh?
Latin Greek Hebrew. So if you sort of look a bit away, then more people can see. The cover is made of wood, and it's got leather on top. Leather already with a print, so they can color it later on. It's held together with cloth, and got double leather at the back here. It's a 2-color print. It's a psalterium for monks to sing out of. So it's a big in size, so several monks were singing out of one book. And of course it's heavy. It's weighing 11 kilograms, 22 pounds.
Wow.
So you have to try. It's rather heavy.
Heavier than a bowling ball.
Yeah. How much is a bowling ball, Will?
16 pounds.
16.
16. Some 14, but 16 is the man size. Don't use the flash.
What?
Don't use flash, they won't let you.
I just did that down.
Needless to say, there's a couple of bucks in here. We're looking at the back of the church now, and this is the organ of the church. There's the side exhaust areas for the organ for its music. On the right, and of course then we have some on the left. And here we have Deanna and Kevin in the church observing all of this nonsense, looking at all of this opulence. Here's a picture of the bones of the saints, and this is what they do here to immortalize them. And you actually see the entire bones erected, or resurrected, or whatever you want, and then decorated up. This is something else, something. What Ed Meek sees this? What do you think of this?
You get that on the video.
Yeah. Hey, we're at the Schönenberg Palace. This is the summer home of the Habsburgs, the last ruling monarch of Austria and the Austrian Empire, which included Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Austria, portions of Italy, Germany. Needless to say, they had a couple of bucks. This is their garden. And of course, there's their backyard up on top. Now I'll show you the back of their house, which you won't believe. But here comes the back of their house. Now here we go. You're going to take a look-see here. And this is their summer home now, remember. And this is the back, and we'll take a picture of the front when we get out there. But here we have the back of the house, and here we have our family out visiting. We got Kevin and Deanna, and we got Brian.
Go up on the balcony. Get a better view.
Here we are up on the porch, looking down at the garden.
Why do you think I came up? Yeah. Where do you see the picture?
That's their backyard back there that they'd planned. If you take a look at the size of that place, it's huge. There are fountains and back porch area for where they held court. And then if I look down, that's the actual fountain in the back of the garden. Here we are at the front of the Schönbrunn Castle, or Sherburn Castle.
It's called a
Palace.
palace.
I see. And live with us is Kevin O'Hare. Kevin O'Hare, walk out there, please. There he is. So what did you think of the palace, young man?
I liked it.
What did you like about it?
I liked all the gold.
The gold, yeah, me too. Beautiful room.
You know what Doug would say if he saw that gold room?
What would he say?
He would say awesome because his favorite color is gold.
It is. And here's Deanna, enjoying the day. Always in a hurry, but enjoying the day. She has reached a quantum level.
We're busy traveling from one attraction to the other. Lots of museums, lots of palaces, lots of shopping. We're having a ball.
Yeah, it's a good time. See ya. Bye, Mom. See ya. Wave. Bye. Here's the bus that we took for the Vienna sightseeing tour. As you can see, the Vienna sightseeing tour. This is where we ate last night. It's called the Ambassador Lear Restaurant. And we ate right out here on the porch, walking along Kattner Street, Kattner Straße, which in German Straße is street. Strauss is street. Ah. There's a drinking fountain here in Vienna. Okay, we promised Kevin we would get him some ice cream, so go get him some ice cream. Tell him I'll be there with the money in a minute. Just 10 shillings. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. I'll be there in a minute. You've got the extra 5, Deanna, in your pocket. Okay, here we are on Kattner Straße. You can just see all the people milling around and walking, and 1.5 million people here in Vienna. Go ahead. Okay, here we are at St. Stephen's Plaza, and we're at St. Stephen's Church, which is a very famous section. I think we're going to get Brian and Kevin going into the church here. You can see it's 1:30. Now we'll take a tour up this tower. To the very top, and of course then we zoom back over to the sides of this church, which is just magnificent. And they're doing some work on one of the towers here. Of course, this is the square, which they call St. Stephen's Square. And that street right there by Schmidt's, which I'll zoom in on, is where our hotel's at, called Wendel. The Wendel Hotel is right down. We're about 1.5 blocks off this square, which is just spectacular for convenience. And then we have a modern structure here called the Haas. And if you look into the Haas, you'll see the reflection of St. Stephen's. We're now inside the church. Here is the organ. And I guess in spectacular terms, that's quite some organ. This is just one of the wings of the church. As you can see, it's broken up into many sectors. Here's the main altar. And St. Stephen. I got it. Just relax, yeah. And we have the back of the main organ for the main section of the church. And let's see, the main organ of the church. We are now on the top of St. Stephen's Church. We just climbed about 350 steps. Deanna is taking oxygen. We are now looking...
See, I'm not even out of energy yet.
Oh,
You gotta give us more steps, you guys.
You do, huh?
I'm not even out of energy.
There's St. Stephen's, I believe.
Forget about this thing.
Right, or no, that's St. Charles Church right there, I believe. And here we have...
Kevin, stop. You want to thank you?